Today we are reviewing and breaking down Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 1. And of course explaining some things you might have missed. Now, in this episode we did get a massive suggestion to something big in The Walking Dead. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe so you're the first to hear about The Walking Dead and the first to see my videos. And make sure you've joined the official Discord for the channel. The link is in the description and the pinned comment. I'll see you there. So this episode starts off so well. In fact, 90% of it was amazing and it actually hyped me up for the whole season. Morgan wakes up and his eyes are red. And he's still badly wounded, and this is how we see walkers are avoiding him. It's his wound, it's rotting flesh. The walkers just see him as dead because it smells like rotting flesh. We then meet a character called Isaac, and he says he was in the military and he knows what that smell is. And it's gangrene. So whilst this tells us Morgan doesn't have any internal immunity to the zombie virus, this does tell us a new way to camouflage within the walkers. So if the CRM do ever take Morgan, it's things like wounds and being undead that they'd be looking at when they experiment. Now we're introduced to this new character called Emil. He's the bounty hunter we've seen, and he was such a cool and actually quite scary villain. But at the end of the episode, Morgan kills him. Fuck. Then Morgan is completely healed. And before you know it, we're left at the exact same place at the end of Season 5 left us. The bounty hunter had a really cool death, but they've killed him off when he's better than the actual villain. It was really cool to see Morgan do that, but we're literally just left at the same position that we were. Virginia is an awful, dreadful character that they've tried to give this Negan position to. They've just killed off a villain that was actually scary, was actually good.
Do you copy?
Morgan Jones is dead. And you were dealing with somebody else now.
Just for us to be left back as we were at the end of Season 5. And honestly, he's just looking like it's going to be like Season 5 again. We've had this thing at the start where it's like a big mystery, but it comes out and it's just disappointing. Morgan doesn't have this new look anymore. He's just how Morgan was. He's got a new hat and a new axe from it. The axe is quite cool, and he looks good in the hat, but that's just it. Of course, having his injury, meeting Isaac, and killing the bounty hunter all had to happen for him to progress and stop doing what he was doing in Season 5. Things are going to be different now because this happened. But I was hoping Season 6 would take a completely different tone to what Season 5 was, and to be fair it is. But from how this episode ended, however great the whole thing was, I'm not as hopeful that the whole season is going to be good and something different now. It was revealed that when Morgan went into this herd, Isaac was bit in the process, so he dies after saving Morgan, and so Morgan is left with Isaac's wife and their newborn daughter. And they named their daughter after Morgan.
We named her Morgan.
That's a boy, isn't it? It's revealed that just before Isaac died, he got to meet his daughter, but he also saved Morgan. He took the bullet out of him and fixed his wound. And it's a shame because I really liked Isaac, I really liked the bounty hunter, and they're both gone. These two new cool characters, really likeable. Didn't even have a full episode, and there's Althea still alive, or still in this show. Like, she needs to redeem herself somehow because she's been awful in Season 5. She's not done anything bad as a character, but the character itself, I think, is just awful.
Fucking riot shield. What else you want me to do?
Oh, riot shield! I'm a pussy that use riot shield!
Now, although we saw Morgan made it out of where he was, Morgan was patched up and woke up somewhere else. He said he heard walkers, he heard he was being saved, but he didn't see who it was. He just woke up, patched up with a note. Now, although he was patched up, it wasn't fully, because of course he got gangrene. Isaac helped him with that at the end of this episode, but we're talking about right at the end of the Season 5 finale. How did Morgan make it out of that? Because any other person would have died. Well, someone saved him, and he woke up with a note. The note said, "You don't know me, but I heard your message. You need to do the same. You still have things left to do." Now, these are the same notes that Dwight was getting, and it's the same handwriting as the notes that Sherry was writing. So, yes, this is Sherry. Now, although they were on The Walking Dead together, they never actually crossed paths. Now, neither did Dwight or Morgan. They never had a scene together, but they still knew each other because they were in the same place and at the same time. They were together in All Out War, but they never had a scene. But with Sherry, she left and never met Morgan. So they came from the same show, but they're both still strangers. When we have that episode with just Sherry, we might even see how she saved Morgan, but that's just if that matters anymore, because we just know what happened now. But then again, Sherry looks in danger, so how did she save Morgan and then get trapped here? It's interesting because when Morgan was first introduced, or reintroduced in this episode, when he was reborn, it was symmetrical and reminiscent of when Rick Grimes was first introduced in the pilot for The Walking Dead. And it's things like that, and it's other things we've seen that we're going to be seeing in Season 6 of Fear, that tells me it's going to end with this season. Now, in AMC's press release, they just said it was returning for its 5th season, even though it's returning for its 6th season. But I do believe they're just not talking about how it's ending because the second half hasn't even been filmed yet. That's barely been filmed. So once that's done and all filmed, they can actually say it's the final one. Bearing in mind about the crossover news, well, rumours, it's just looking really likely that that's going to happen now. Especially now that Morgan's new look is just like Maggie's new look. If the timeline of Fear reaches The Walking Dead, which is really likely too, then it's likely that Morgan is in the same place as Maggie. Now, the hats aren't exactly the same, but that doesn't matter. They don't correlate like that. But the reason for Morgan killing this bounty hunter for getting this exact type of hat is for when he goes and finds Maggie. Of course, that's if the crossover happens, but that's just looking more and more likely as we've seen. It's all coming together. Overall, I thought it was a really good episode. It was one of the best that Fear the Walking Dead has ever put out. I don't like how the newer characters, Isaac and Emil the Bounty Hunter, were just killed off like that, because I thought it was giving us a taste of what Season 6 was going to be. I was enjoying it. Yes, we've got Morgan's new look, we've got him doing things differently now, but that's happened before with Morgan. I understand Morgan saying that Morgan Jones is dead and he's somebody else now. It's like him breaking the loop and doing things differently. But Fear has once again changed the tone, giving us a completely new taste, only to wipe the slate again and bring us back to how we were at the beginning of Season 5. It promises something exciting, something dark and different, but it's not. But with the episodes being like chapters, it should be good. And like I said, this episode was really good, but it just worries me that history is going to repeat itself and it's going to be like Season 5 again. But what did you think? Did you enjoy this episode? Did you enjoy what happened at the end? Would you have changed how it ended? Would you want the bounty hunts to go on longer? When do you think we'll see Sherry? And when do you think Fear the Walking Dead will all end? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure you press the like button. It will help me out and get this video seen by more people. If you did enjoy it, then make sure you check out my other videos. Check out this one for my full review on The Walking Dead Season 10 finale. I'll talk about some things you might have missed and what's going to happen next. Watch this video where we break down and solve the mystery behind the masked character in the Season 10 finale. We talk about who it could be and what it means for the show. And check out this video for my full review on The Walking Dead World Beyond Episode 1. And my review for Episode 2 of World Beyond will be out tomorrow, so make sure you look out for that too. And of course, make sure you subscribe so you're the first to hear about The Walking Dead and the first to see my videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. And shout out to the water tower. At least Fear did it.